Welcome to Smithville Chamber Chatter, coming to you from historic Smithville, Texas. We're here to talk about all things Smithville, including upcoming events, updates and tips for and about local businesses, important news, election updates, and more. Brought to you by the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce, I'm your host, April Daniels. Welcome to our podcast. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Smithville Chamber Chatter podcast with your host, April Daniels. We are excited to be continuing our podcast series today, sponsored by the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce and today's podcast sponsor, Lost Pines Toyota. Our guests today are Charlotte and Carrie Keith, owners of Rio Social House, a brand new business scheduled to open this week. Good afternoon, Charlotte and Carrie, and thank you for being our guests on the Smithville Chamber Chatter podcast.
Hi, April.
Hi, April. Thank you for having us.
Of
Super
course.
exciting.
I am super excited. I can't wait to see the inside of your space, and the outside looks fantastic, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So Charlotte and Carrie, and I will disclose that you all are sisters, actually.
Twin
Can you?
sisters.
Twinsies.
Twin sisters. Well, that's even
Yeah.
bigger. Fantastic. Well, can you tell our listeners and viewers listening in both by YouTube and Facebook Live, as well as Spotify and iTunes, can you tell them a little bit about your choice to make Smithville your home and the place where you want to open your new business?
I'll start with that. Yeah. About last June, Stephanie DeStefano, a local mosaic artist, was working on a really big project in Smithville and invited me to come to Smithville and help with it. It was a mosaic project on a women's shelter, and I just met so many wonderful people and absolutely fell in love with them. And they were like, when this is over, we don't have anywhere to go where I know I'm going to walk in and all my friends will be there. And so that was why I was thinking this is what, because Charlotte and I had been looking for somewhere all over the place to open this. And then I saw the building, Charlotte saw it separately. And we both knew that that was the building that we wanted. When we spoke about it together, we were like, oh my God, it's that one, so it was kind of serendipitous.
Yeah, we were, I was at a dinner at the Royal Tomato, and everyone was saying, oh, there's this building you should go look at. And I was like, all right. I wasn't like, I love Austin. I'm from Austin, so I didn't want to leave Austin, but I saw the building and I fell in love with it. And then Carrie and I think we called each other the next day saying, hey, there's this building. And it was just like, it was the same building. It was such a twin.
Right, it was a twin moment,
Beautiful,
definitely.
beautiful moment.
Isn't that amazing? And
Yeah.
the address of the building is it 501 Main Street?
Yes.
Which,
Yeah.
in my experience, having lived in Smithville, it used to be an optical store. But I know you've done some research, and can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about what you've learned about the history of the building?
Charlotte, you got this?
So yeah, I think it's like 1924. It was an old Sinclair gas station, and it kept its structure. I think it was in use until about the 60s or something?
Yes, right.
Right? Oh, so that's awesome.
Yes.
So, hey, if you have anything to add, please.
I just wanted to give you the opportunity to tell people about it. It's very exciting to me.
Thanks. And then I guess for decades it was empty, and then this couple bought it and turned it into a vision center that was only used on weekends, something like that.
Yeah.
So it was very different looking when we bought it than how it is now.
Well, it's exciting to me to see that building's brought back to life. And one of our local historians, David Harrington, who I'm sure you've met.
Yeah.
I haven't met him.
Love, heart, David.
would be quick to tell you that Smithville, of course, the traffic used to run very differently in Smithville. There was a bridge at the end of Main Street, so that it was important to have a gas station right there. And Main Street actually was the main way people drove in down what we all now know as First Street along the railroad tracks and turned onto Main Street and drove. So traffic came right through the middle of downtown and drove right next to that gas station on its way to the bridge to cross over to go on in to Bastrop. So
that's so great. I never knew. I mean, I knew it was the Main Street, but I never put together that having a gas station there was super important. But Coach Ken, who lives across the street and grew up in
the house, yeah.
House even. Like,
yeah, Coach Ken grew up in the house across the street from us. He moved away for a long time and then moved back after he retired.
And he told us a lot.
So that's exciting. And the reason I wanted to include this little conversation, I know we went a little off script here, but it's important for our listeners and viewers to hear how passionate these new business owners are about the history of some of our beautiful old historic buildings. And I encourage you, when you go to the grand opening or you go and visit their business, to see how lovingly they've restored this space, how they've really paid attention to the original historic use of the building, and how it's still a wonderful historic building to walk through, even as it's been modernized and turned into a new business today. So that's very exciting, I'm sure, for our listeners and viewers to hear. Now, I do love, again, that you brought that old building back to life, and I'm sure it was quite a job to restore it. Can you talk a little bit about your restoration efforts?
Well, demo, you think that when you have a sledgehammer and you're just going to bang stuff, that it's going to be so much fun.
It's so much fun.
It's overrated. My daughter, Sierra, and my two daughters, Sierra and Sadie, and then one of their friends came out and did such an extraordinary job. I think there's a video of Sierra just really doing some damage to the building in a good way. But thankfully we had them. And then and there were cabinets everywhere and up above and below. So we had a lot that we had to demo in their rooms, and now it's just wide open.
And then those cabinets wanted to stick to the wall. They would not. They were fighting to hold on for dear life. They did not.
Right. They were just like, I'm not leaving. But anyway, then there was a lull there. But we definitely wanted to keep the Art Deco feel of it, and I feel like we've pulled that off. All of the work that we've done really accentuates the lines on the building, and we're about to, I'm not going to give it away, but the day of our opening, there's going to be something amazing that's going to happen that's even going to highlight it even more. That era, yeah.
You have to come to find out.
That's right. A little teaser, folks. A little teaser. You heard it here first, folks. I do want to take just one moment to again thank today's sponsor of our podcast, Lost Pines Toyota. Carlos Liriani and his staff always work hard to sponsor all kinds of things in the Smithville community, and we appreciate your sponsorship. Now, I want to talk about the new business that's going to be opening there in that space at 501 Main. Can you talk a little bit about it, what you're going to offer, your location, your hours, talk about your grand opening, and just kind of what we have to look forward to from your business?
Yeah, well, basically, we're going to offer everything that Smithville wants and needs in terms of fun and food and entertainment. And our hours are Monday through Friday. So we're going to be, Monday through Sunday. We're going to be open 7 days a week. And 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And so we'll be open for coffee. We're going to have lattes, espresso drinks, and then we'll have lunch items. We want to offer healthy food because currently there's not a lot of places to eat healthy food in Smithville. And then we also have a full bar so people can come and drink.
And we'll have
happy hours. Yeah, the bank girls across the street are going to come for happy hour and drink bars.
Yeah, margaritas. But we will also have ice cream and some sweets, like pies and cakes and ice cream. Tiffany over at Katie House said that one of the first things that customers people that stay at Katie House ask for is a place to go and get some coffee and pie. And she doesn't have anywhere to tell them to go, but she does now, or she will. But
Absolutely.
yeah, our opening, we're got the Bucksnort Boogie Boys are going to perform, so that's exciting. And one thing that's really stands out at Rio Social House is we have the only petanque court this side of the Mississippi, and the only other two in the country are in New York and Florida. So
What kind of, can you explain what that is?
What if
so
it's
it's bocce ball, but it's the French version, and the French don't like you to describe it that way. They want it to stand alone, but it's very much like that.
It's a what kind of ball? What kind of ball did you say?
It's like bocce ball.
Oh,
what bocce ball is?
Sure.
Yeah. So you throw the balls, but it's petanque, and it's a very, I found out more, it's like more of a southern France kind of place, but everybody in the petanque community all over the place are very excited about it being in a bar. And when I say only courts, I mean within a bar. There are courts all over the place, but only 3 in a bar. Ours is the 3rd.
And that's outside. Did you also have the lot next to your building that you're dedicating to? Is that including outside seating as well?
Yes, we're going to have lots and lots of outdoor seating during COVID. Right now, I know it's really important to a lot of people, and it is to us as well, to social distance. So we have a lot of space to social distance, and it's going to be very easy.
I really want to reassert that dealing with COVID, being socially conscious and safe is super important to us. So our staff is going to be wearing masks. We're going to social distance according to the government's guidelines. And so we'll have a lot of outdoor seating, some indoor seating still as well. But we'll also have some huts that people, if they don't want to be around people at all, they can come into the themed huts. Who knows what the theme is going to be? Carrie wants a mermaid hut.
We have some ideas.
We have ideas. So,
wow,
there's a lot.
So I know I came a few months ago. I came and you all were doing just kind of a sneak peek of the inside of the building. I understand that local art is very important to you. Will you have some art on display in your building as well?
Yeah, we're gonna approach local artists first and see who wants to exhibit in our space and sell their artwork. And then we'll reach out to other places like Austin. But art is super, super important to us. We're both artists in our own ways, and we want to promote that.
And well, that's obvious from the beautiful artwork that is on display on the outside of your building as well.
And the inside, I don't know if you've seen the inside recently, but there's some art in there too, permanent structures.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. So to kind of summarize for our listeners and viewers, there will be a restaurant style fare. There will be a full bar. You'll have live music on a regular basis. You have a very fun outdoor piquant. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
piquant court, which is for us country gals, that's bocce ball, but we're going to call it piquant. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating. It just sounds like a fantastic space. Open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. I personally cannot wait to come and experience the Rio Social House.
Thank you, April.
We also have a children's section.
Oh, so that's very important to know.
Yeah, that may not be ready yet. And also our openings, we saw a series of soft openings, so we're not going to have the 7 to 10, 7 days a week right away. We're going to have a series of openings, but we'll post them on our Facebook and Instagram.
So can you reiterate for our listeners and viewers exactly what time and location for your first soft opening?
It's going to be from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock on Friday, October 9th. And the ribbon cutting will be at 6. So people will have time to kind of check it out before that happens. And then the the Bucksmart Boogie Boys are going to play after the ribbon cutting.
And well, I'm sorry, one more thing. We also are having a play and dinner theater on Saturday, October 10th and Sunday, October 18th. You can go to our website, Rio Social House, or I'm sorry, our Facebook page, and there's a link. It's a play, it's a dinner theater, and there'll be music there as well. So it'll be catered dinner theater.
And it's a local author. Yeah.
That play is by a local playwright, Will Holcomb, who I highly recommend. He's very talented. I've worked with Will on many occasions and different plays and things, and it's wonderful to see that you are featuring a local artist, a local playwright, as one of your very first things that you're doing there. That's fantastic. So, folks, I want to remind you, as you have been listening and watching our podcast today, this is a great example of the investors that are coming into our community and just jumping in with both feet and showing their appreciation for the beautiful old spaces in our central business district and bringing those spaces back to life in a way that serves our community, that serves our tourist industry, that really does a wonderful job of showing that they support our local artists and that they're going to work really hard to be open during times that our local community is going to be able to come and enjoy the space. So for one, cannot wait to come and enjoy the Rio Social House.
We can hardly wait to have you, April. You need to come.
Yeah, can we see
absolutely. Again, Carrie and Charlotte Keith, twin sisters. I'm first just learned that, so that's exciting to hear. We're thrilled to have you. Welcome so much to the Smithville community, and we can't wait to see all the good things that are coming from your business.
Thanks you so much for having us.
Of course.
Yes, it was fun.
And I will again say thank you for appearing with us today for this episode of the Smithville Chamber Chatter podcast. Of course, thank today's sponsor, Lost Pines Toyota. Be sure to join us every other Wednesday at noon as when we debut each podcast. And until then, enjoy Smithville, a big small town experience. Thank you for listening to Smithville Chamber Chatter with your host, April Daniels. If you'd like to be a guest, email us at april.daniels@smithvilletx.org. Between now and our next episode, be sure to check out the Chamber's website at www.smithvilletx.org. Until then, we'll see you on Main Street.